case from me a Torkornoo Chaṛģes be count suspended Chief Justice no wesina na wesen and enimi bi or ya was enko bi a unsua mrada emum na esenki woye na radio we obi a wasua mrada any experience akone ni ma akwe Chief Justice at the highest court unyini paketwa. So we expect to say like benim niema bebre the niema obeye no and go against the constitution, because for what we know, if a case is at court, that's a case in ruling by a also a case in Awesome. The same thing a year prima facie a year Council of State Elders for the Alpha I establish Alpha, and there is a committee a probable case any suspended. Now the in some ISC held in camera just when I'm babbled, you know, who mama be press conference eka in nieme ewo ECOWAS committee nasi. So per solo for the movement for change say we must cite the Chief Justice for contempt.
What do you make of all of this?
So first of all, let us put it on record that the Electoral Commission, that the commissioners, if they will go, they will not go because of politics. They will go because they are incompetent. It's as simple as that. You just alluded to the fact that they are not competent. So if they will go, what's the big deal about that? And you see, as a country, we must develop that culture of firing people when they are not performing. It must not be difficult. I have heard a lot of people say that it must be difficult to remove the Chief Justice. It must be the easiest thing to do.
Why?
Hey, so that when you go and have a recalcitrant Chief Justice, because it's difficult, the person is there. In the same way it's easy to appoint, it must be easy to fire. As simple as that. When this matter started, I preferred an advice, a layman's advice. Theo and his people, they call themselves learned. We are unlearned.
Agree.
I sat here and I said, from my village sense, Madam,
go.
Just go and negotiate your exit. Take a cue from A4 of the US as Supreme Court judge and leave the scene.
You don't think she should fight?
What is she fighting for? She's all over the place. As we speak, she has a matter before the Supreme Court of Ghana. Are you aware of that? She has a matter before the High Court of Ghana. My own sister, Janet Nabla, I don't know her interest. She bought a flight from Accra to Kumasi, slept in a hotel, and went and petitioned Otunfo on behalf of Justice Torkornoo. Now, would you use your own money to do that? Let's think aloud. Now she has moved the stage to where? ECOWAS. Abuja. I don't know those that are briefing here, whether they have history behind them. Abuja is not in Nigeria.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you know Justice Walter Onoji? Justice Walter Onoji?
Who is that?
He was the Chief Justice of Nigeria in 2016. By 2019, Buhari had booted him out. The court of ECOWAS Community Court was very close. Abuja, in fact, you could walk to Abuja, walk to the ECOWAS Community Court and say, my rights have been violated. He processed it. Onoje said, I won't go anywhere. I have accepted. He fought it in court. In fact, in 2024, Onoje won the case at a peace court. I don't know who is advising. ECOWAS Community Court, only 2nd July. A very judge called Elian Pote, earlier retired magistrate called Elian Pote. He's an Ivorian. You, after retiring, went back and said his rights were violated. And so the country, Ivory Coast, must pay a huge sums of money. They threw the case out like they were throwing it into the bin. They have even asked Pote to pay all the expenses for certain allowances and so for the judges. And with the ECOWAS court, when you go and lose, that's it. There's no room for appeal. Madam, for the last time, I'm saying come back home. let's get the elders and negotiate.
At this stage, she cannot negotiate.
And everything is possible.
And at this stage, I think, in fact, from the very beginning, I've also said it. You remember, I said, no negotiation, go for it. Don't resign, and don't negotiate anything. Don't.
She should go.
There is a concerted effort by people. Remember,
you are taking my time.
You said don't resign.
Don't resign.
And don't do anything.
Fight it in court.
She should fight it in court.
To the end.
You see, in our history,
okay.
look,
take it to the very end. In fact,
in our history,
after the UN,
she can go anywhere. But let me tell you. Let me tell you.
Let's solo finish.
So granted, this woman even wins her legal battles. Will she be able to go back to the judiciary that she has bastardized? Now she is even impugning the integrity of her colleagues. Article 1468, what does it say? That all proceedings must be held in camera. This woman looked straight into you and our faces and flouted the constitution of this country. Lawless.
How did she flout it?
Don't speak in public about a matter that you are before.
Theophilus, does the constitution say that the proceedings should be held in camera, or all matters regarding the issue?
But what did she come to do?
In camera. No, I'm asking about the legal position.
All proceedings under this article
should be held in camera. Does that include discussing the matter?
Yes, Ajaychum once said that the petition was published.
Okay.
That was why they held that it cannot go forward. And if you remember when Professor Kwaku Asare, yes, petitioned Nana Akufo-Addo, one of the reasons why Nana Akufo-Addo, the former president, dismissed that was that he published the petition.
Absolutely.
So the press conference which was held was flouting a constitutional
Exactly.
Absolutely. But now it should have been cited for contempt.
Not only contempt, it's even enough grounds for another petition.
Absolutely. No, so if that matter is not dealt with, any matter that's in court, I'll be commenting on it. Because she has opened the floodgate. That is the Chief Justice of the land. We go before these courts and we submit ourselves to them. Because they are there by virtue of the operation of the Constitution. So if the Constitution says don't do A, B, C, D, and you come and do it. Now who is speaking for the committee members? Now we are missing a certain point. We are treating this matter as though those that petition, they don't know their left from right. I have said a countless number that Mr. Daniel Ofori is not an easy-go person in this country. I don't think more than half of Ghanaians have more investment in this country than Mr. Ofori for him to be used for someone's, do someone's bidding. He invests in businesses in this country and he will be the first person to wish for the cleanup of the judiciary. But when we are talking about this matter, as though they went on the street and looked for people who would just go and petition and get the Chief Justice out of the place. Madam, if you are not going to take my advice, just go and face the committee. All the legal issues that you are raising. If a due lodge is not good for you, they can find another place. And by virtue of that, if the committee also accepts, I have said that any time that I go to the High Court, my great-great-grandfather, Nanedu, he had a terrible incident where the High Court is. So anytime I'm called to go to that court there, and I remember that I'm shaking. But I can't do anything about it. I've been called. The woman said the husband was not allowed into the hall. So that is enough grounds. Yes, maybe when the husband is not by her, she cannot deliver. But the question you ask yourself is that anytime she is writing her rulings, is the husband by her?
Or anytime she's sitting at the Supreme Court.
Is the husband by her? No, we cannot trivialize some of these matters. That she was searched. Whenever you are going to a security zone, are you not your phones taken? Are your phones not taken from you? Are you not searched? When we are even traveling out of this country, sometimes we don't take it. They will even remove your boxes because of Osama bin Laden. So please, let us not trivialize this matter. If she means to do business and go, and at this stage, if she wants to go, I'm here. As for lawyers, they know how to write, they know how to petition. You go. But at the end of the day, you would understand why it is always good to take a bow, early bow.
All right. Dr. So before I come to you, let me just read a few messages coming in. Now, please tell Solomon that I want him to be the flag bearer for the movement for change. All right. None of the theories by the senior lecturer holds any weight. All right. And that's from Pajo, texting us from Soto. Now, please tell Dr. Zato that the same strategy was used to remove the EC in 2017. Let me ask him this. Is the seat her personal inheritance? That's from Great Child, texting from Spintex Road. Now, that's political. Okay, I'm not going to read that. Sadam, why give space to the NP? Okay, all right. Okay, I think I'm going to come to you, Dr. Zato. I'll come back to the messages in a moment. People are very passionate in their messages this morning.
I know, they're all against me. It's normal, I get it. That's the norm.
I didn't say that.
I know.
Okay, go on.
It's the norm. I'm used to it. Let me just make this point. He corrected me on something and I want to agree. Yes, the vote was as the UN Human Rights Council. So they're not the whole UN. It was at the Human Rights Council. The mandate of the council is to remind states of their obligation to respect, protect, and fulfill the rights of people with diverse sexual orientation and gender identities. So yes, the vote was to empower the UN Human Rights Council to go out there and protect and force countries to protect people, to protect the LGBTQ community.
Okay.
That is the council where the government of Ghana abstained from voting.
Okay.
I believe that they should have to extend the mandate to protect them. No. I thought that we should have taken a moral stand, we have taken a legal stand, we should have voted against. I'm saying that. That's my position.
We are not discussing that today.
Thank you, sorry.
So let's come back to
the discussion. So you all have to have a
let's go back to the issue.
Because we have to go into the matter of LGBT.
We are not going to do that today.
Why did not sign that?
We are not going to do that today, Solomon. All right, Dr. Zato, let's go.
Thank you. So again, as I've said, this CJ issue is simple and straightforward, and I have said it, that if you look at the whole processes, there are legal obligations all along the way. The president is mandated by the constitution to do certain things, and they're all laid out there. I don't have qualms about them, and not being a student of law, I don't understand and know them very well. But there are also political issues, political calculations, discretions and indiscretions that are made. And again, my point has been that these have been done and exploited and used very well in the process. My final thing is this, that because I'm saying this and I've said it, I've said I don't want to sound so boring when I'm saying it. This process is over. I think the country should start looking for a new CJ. This one will be gone, but I hope that whatever legacy these legal cases leave, whatever legacy these rulings leave, will help us better. There's a constitutional reform committee going on, and I hope they are also looking at what is happening to see what other protections, if they needed be, they can bring to the process. Parliament has said that they've seen that there are certain flaws with the process, there are certain things wrong with the process, and that they will amend certain laws that will take it. I'm happy that they've also seen it and they are doing that. The Ghana Bar Association has also made their processes clear. At the end of the day, my hope and prayer is that tomorrow we don't find ourselves sitting here. But history tells me, from path dependency theory, that we will be here again. That another government will come and then they will remove a chief justice. This is not the last time we've seen it under this administration. That's what history tells me, and that's what insights from path dependency theory.
The new chief justice who will be appointed will be removed.
If the new government comes, yeah, I'm sure they will.
That's
the government that is protesting the removal of a chief justice will now come in and now remove a chief justice. That's theory number 4. Again, yes, as I said, but you see, Dr. Zato, let me correct something. An appointed person cannot have a security of tenure stronger than an elected person. That does not happen. So wherever you find yourself, you must know that your tenure has a limitation based on whoever has appointed you. That you must know. He can remove you if you are appointed today as the MD here by maybe the board. You cannot have a time bigger than that of the board. They might remove you tomorrow morning. But again, the theories, Dr. Zato, let's get this clear. GBA's position initially was that the procedure that the process is going through is flawless. And they pray that the procedure continues that way. It was until there was a bit of a stampede to get some form of a resolution that received public bashing, that if that is what you are referring to, that cannot reflect the will of GBA as it is now. Currently, as we
the Ghana Bar Association.
The Ghana Bar Association.
All right.
Yes. And there were other lawyers associations like Newz, Lawyers in Search of Democracy, that came up to say that, hey, we are not part of this. This cannot be the position of GBA, etc. As we sit here, and Solo has just alluded to, the actions of the suspended Chief Justice. You see, we have an acting Chief Justice currently, as we are talking about. We have other members of the committee who are justices of the Supreme Court. You took those two on. Then you are going back now to those same people to work with them. The environment will be very toxic. I would only have agreed with Solo if this discussion had taken place maybe 2 months earlier. Felix Kwachiofosu would have written some nice English. All of us would have been happy. The Chief Justice would have said that I want the unity of the country. Maybe by now she might have been posted to Ghana's High Commissioner to Nigeria. And we are all happy and we move on. But as it stands now, I am saying that she has her dignity to protect. When this whole issue started and snipers of the petition were coming out, I am like, no. If she were my wife, I would have said, sweetie, give her. Let's move on. Because there are things that were coming up that we never knew.
Yeah.
Someone is going to see the daughter tomorrow and say, you cried, it was our money that your mother took to take you on a trip. You won't have the opportunity to defend her. Someone is going to see you on TV and say, you cried that you are following the Chief Justice, they took our money to buy you a ticket, that's why you are following. All those things, the dignity you have and the dignity for the office must be protected. That is the more reason why Chinua Achebe says it's always good to be brave, but sometimes it's better to be a coward. Allow where you have fought up to, that is the limit. If Solo is saying, Solo of MPP, Dr. Zato of MPP is saying that she is a goner, maybe he also knows something we don't know.
These are the submissions the 3 panelists for no it's my day I conclude my but uti omunina kasanima which said they want the suspended Chief Justice to resign peacefully. Ongoing negotiation only the government in negotiations say at this point she want to resign on pesa on beto case ni na subim because at the end of the day a be enimguasiamo no in the family enimguasiamo no ko a be enimguasiamo or no in the family. If at the end of the day petitioners in niema modi akono it be won't say niema modi akunyina ya ampa because they will finally post it a ampa o man post it grandpa na say yes akewa. That means in niema petitioners for the buy no credit. Say I'm posty, not say at the end yes akewa. That means all the claims are the bar found on no credit. So the government money or the found family to coin more the government money more more personal in niema and go say blah. And the way I name see corner because already no Kevin tell me who say the woman I insist to say she's going to fight. She's going to fight and fight and fight till say obeying the position back. There are a lot of people are more can say even so ECOWAS court. That's ECOWAS court 19 umpa what be UN. So the ECOWAS court. That's ECOWAS court 90 almost say anjod beko UN or the beko. So the fight matter now can't be fighting ampa. Indeed she is fighting. But the thing is uja a year court the judiciary are now presiding. The judiciary that you were presiding and you are still presiding because you are a suspended Chief Justice. You sack you on resign. You are just suspended. You need the India Wangasa for me one interpretation say suspension means removal. You need maybe our kunyasa interpretation if free. You need dictionary cross or use. So the judiciary that you are still presiding. You don't trust that the same judiciary. You then send your case to a different court outside your country. Now, yeah, in this case, between the two a case that took outside the country is anything. Because any day, any time, one has say the law is the law. No matter the noise that you make, no matter all the actions that you take, the law still remains the law. One has say no. And you want everybody to respect the law. Meanwhile, cannot now him say a time will come out also so bad be facing the law. And right now you are facing the law and you don't try the same law that you were presiding. Right now a lot of people are saying say case for court Not the ordinary people, even the president, nobody. Ain't me can asem ne court on publicly. And okay, bit my cite you for contempt. Ain't ya no be a dean to say court and didn't ruling beba. Say 10 years grand no ruling by obia to within 20 years obia to within. It is a case or court. That's obia intimate can once a man. Now also you are facing the same matter. Council of State Elders for Arts Committee after forming the prima facie. Now Babontin o Kasa microphone be Kasa to the extent of organizing a press conference to discuss the matter at the meeting. At DSA income when you can say Babontin will be at once. You are the same person presiding the judiciary, and you know more than any other Ghanaian, than anybody, because you are the Chief Justice. Now, so you are the same person doing this there per solo or say a cite for contempt. Whether power there for case in the UN for you cite you for contempt because well no you nobody is above the law. So we are also no emranu bidi. We also emranu bidi. Even the president is under the government, so under the constitution. He is under the law. Nobody is above the law. So per ononkra the submission yinani say onko negotiations with the government that a year untimi to also be she want to resign. Now all the saga like adena Kesi ni nyina nko na chese Ghana nyina de enya peace. So sky na shemo nya siri